Chestnut, a Generation 6 starter from X and Y that hasn't really done well in VGC ever since the X and Y meta in 2014, doing well at that one regional championship, but not really performed nearly as well due to its typing in grass and fighting not being really the best offensive typing. However, with Terra, Bulletproof as an ability, and Bulk Up, it is actually able to take a lot of hits, especially from a lot of common Pokemon that are running around, especially Urshifu Water, which is a very significant one. We're going to be trying out this tournament winning team that features Chestnut and see how well it performs with screens. This team features Chestnut and Galarian Moltres. There's a few different ways that you can utilize this team, featuring the offensive mode with the Booster Energy Iron Bundle, the Pixie Plate Flutter Mane, and the Choice Specs Golden Go for fast offensive damage output with the Icy Wind speed control, or a slower mode that you can utilize featuring the Grimmsnarl, getting the screens up, being able to slow down your opponent's team with Thunder Wave, chipping away with the Galarian Moltres, and then setting up for Chestnut to sweep with Bulletproof, making it immune to Shadow Ball, and a few other significant moves in the format, while being able to go for like Terra Water to get rid of weaknesses to Moonblast and get bulk ups. And it's really actually hard for a lot of Pokemon that are relevant in the format right now to actually break through Chestnut, especially with the Terra Water. If you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description. Flutter Mane, Hisuian Goodra, Amoonguss, Ting-Lu, Cresselia, and Iron Hands. Okay, we have a little bit of a tricky matchup right here. The Goodra's a little bit hard for me to break through, although if I do trick it with Golden Go, we're in a really good spot, so that's probably going to be my goal, especially since their team is very passive. I really like the Chestnut. Chestnut's fantastic, I think, against their team. If we could set up bulk ups, it's like really hard for my opponent to stop. The only way is if it's Clear Smog Amoonguss, which I don't think they really run nearly as much. Maybe they do, but I feel like Swords Hands Iron Hands would not be like a big thing in this format, so Clear Smog Amoonguss probably falls off a bit. I'm gonna do, I want Grimmsnarl screens for sure. I wouldn't mind leading screens immediately with like the Golden Go lead plus the Grimmsnarl, which I think is pretty good. I do like the Galarian Moltres, I think, in the back, and then I think I like the Chestnut as the last Pokemon. Not a huge fan of I'm not a huge fan of Flutter Mane. It could be brought. The Iron Hands could be a little bit tricky, but I feel like if I get one bulk up or two, I should be fine against Iron Hands with the Chestnut. Again, a lot of this game is going to be, I think, breaking through the scene with Chestnut if I can just get either the KO on Flutter Mane and the trick onto the Goodra. I'm in a really good spot, and it looks like we're going to see the Ting-Lu plus the Iron Hands straight off the bat as a lead here, so pretty scary. I will be able to go for Reflect here. I kind of wish I let Chestnut, but not a big deal. I can switch into it. Ruination would stink, but not the worst. I think I should be able to live a Heavy Slam plus Fake Out because I am Impish with like a really defensive Grimmsnarl. So let's bring out that Chestnut and start bulking up, I guess. Let's see. Get a Reflect off. Ooh, no Fake Out. Okay. Gonna go for a Snarl. Okay, that's completely fine by me. I do not care that much about Snarl. Okay. And what are they doing with the Iron Hands? Gonna be, wow, it's Swords Dance Iron Hands, which I'm surprised about, but not that big of a deal. We have Reflect up. We can start setting up bulk ups. I just wish I actually brought a way to actually damage the Iron Hands straight up, but I think it should be okay. I'm gonna go for a Spear Break and get some good damage in the Iron Hands, and I'm gonna go for that bulk up with my Chestnut. So they're not gonna switch. No Terra. Spear Break gonna come out into Iron Hands. Really good amount of damage right there, actually. And the Chestnut will be able to get the bulk up off. So now we have a +1 defense Chestnut under the screens right here. It's not looking easy for my opponent here. Going to be that Ruination into the Chestnut, which is fine, as we will be taking quite a bit. The Drain Punch follow up as well. As you can see, the Chestnut takes it extremely well. Unfortunately, we aren't going to be able to like get the knockout, it looks like, on, well, we could knock out the Iron Hands. I just don't know if they're going to Terra in response. I can go for a Body Press if I want to, which isn't a bad idea. Let's see. I mean, I have several options. I could go for the knockout of Ting-Lu with Spear Break plus Seed Bomb, which also isn't a bad option because it scouts for the Iron Hands Terra. I think that might be the play. I want to double check something with my Chestnut. I think I should be able to, yeah, I think I should be okay with this. I'm gonna go for the, or I could just double up the Iron Hands again because Ting-Lu is really not doing anything other than Ruination spam. So you know what? let's just double up the Iron Hands here with the body press plus the Spirit Break. We're gonna see Detect here, which is fine because, like, again, the Tinglu's not doing enough. Like, Naked Ruination, sure. I'm healing with Leftovers in the Chestnut. If it's in the Grimmsnarl, like, they're just not knocking out the Grimmsnarl, which is still pretty big. So let's see. Again, I could have got the knockout, but having a free switch to Flutter I don't think was super ideal. They go for Stomping Tantrum into the Iron Hands. Was that a misplay? Or was that a misclick? I feel like that's a Joy-Con drift thing. Like, it'd be big brain if, like, the Protect went into the like boosted Stomping Tantrum, but it doesn't work that way if you hit into a Protect. So I don't know. I'm just gonna go for a Spirit Break and Body Press once again into Hands. Don't see a reason not to. I get really good damage off. If they Terra, it's not that bad. Not that bad. So we are going to see the Terra come out from the Iron Hands. It looks like. Is it Terra Fire? If it's Terra Grass, I think you still go down here. Gonna be that Terra Fire. Okay. But they're not recovering that much damage. I still feel like I'm in a pretty good position overall. Gonna get the Spirit Break off into the Iron Hands. The numbers are drastically changing from how much damage the Spirit Break did from the first time around. We are going to be able to get a Body Press off into the Iron Hands. Almost a knockout, but still pretty good. Stomping Tantrum going to come out into the Grimmsnarl. As you can see, like, yeah, I feel like it had to be misclicked the previous turn. And the Drain Punch going to come out into Iron Hands. Going to heal up some HP, but really not that big of a deal. They had the Terra. They were able to save the Iron Hands, but really it's just not that much of a difference here. Now I think I'm just going to go for the double Tinglu because I know I can get a free Spirit Break into a Seed Bomb into the Tinglu and pick up the knockout. If they attack with Iron Hands, they knock out the Chestnut. Not that big of a deal. If they detect, I'm in a really good spot. And yeah, they end up going for the detect play. So Chestnut should be able to, I hope the double up should KO the Tinglu. So Spirit Break going to come out in a Tinglu. Maybe not. I'm +1, but I don't think the Tinglu can KO the Chestnut, I guess. Yeah, I missed a knockout on Tinglu, but the Stomping Tantrum's no way knocking out my Chestnut. Yeah, but the +1 defense, Reflect, and like I have a really bulky Chestnut. Yeah, I just did not expect so. So right now, this lead really not doing that much against me. I'm going to be able to go for Spirit Break into Tinglu. I can go for the Body Press into the Iron Hands if I'm reading a switch into like the Goodra or the Flutter Mane. So, but I feel like I'd rather just Body Press it anyway for safety. We are going to see the retreat from the Iron Hands, which is smart. Going to be out into the Amoonguss, which I think is fine. Is it Rocky Helmet? We'll find out, I suppose, but it's not that big of a deal. I get a Spirit Break knockout into the Tinglu. And I'm able to knock out the Tinglu, which is fantastic. The Iron Hands, not that big of a problem. The only concern is... I guess the Flutter Mane is still concerning if it's in the back. We do confirm that the Amoonguss is not going to be the Rocky Helmet set, which is good. I could even save Chestnut if I want to. The Chestnut can definitely do some things later on. We're going to see the Flutter Mane come in. Okay. Definitely, I think, want to get a Light Screen up. Do you want a Light Screen and probably go out in a Golden Go? I don't think... Well, they're not going to Shadow Ball here. Yeah, they should never Shadow Ball here with the Flutter Mane. Because, A, the Shadow Ball, there's bulletproof on the Chestnut. You're going to go for a Dazzling Gleam or Moonblast, most likely here. Just going to go Golden Go for the Light Screen. They didn't Rage Powder, actually. So, is this a Greedy Spore, looks like? A Dazzling Gleam going to come out. Actually, crits my... Oh, that doesn't crit my Grimmsnarl? Oh, that's Specs 100% then. Okay. They go for the Spore. I think the only play that could have like stopped me here was if they Pollen Puffed their Iron Hands and swapped for Iron Hands for the Flutter Mane, but even then it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm gonna go out into my I think I'm just gonna go out into my Chestnut again. I just don't see a reason not to. Their Iron Hands was just super weakened at this point. I'm just going to go for a... Should I Terra with my Golden Go, I guess is the question. I guess like Terra Steel, there's like no downside here. Although the Galarian Moltres could also win with Terra. But we already know that the Dazzling Gleam is Specs because we had Light Screen. There's no way that should KO after Light Screen. So yeah. I'm going to go for a... I'm gonna go for the Body Press in the Flutter Mane as well as a Make It Rain. That has to be Specs on the Flutter Mane. We're gonna see the Flutter Mane retreat, which makes a lot of sense. Gonna go out into the Iron Hands, but at this point, like, the thing is they have to trade, like, okay, am I gonna go for the Moonblast lock-in, or am I gonna go for Shadow Ball lock-in? And if they lock in the Moonblast, I have the Golden Go, which is basically resisted, and if they lock in the Shadow Ball, then it's fine as well. So if they go for Shadow Ball, I have the Galarian Moltres. So regardless, like, I feel like I'm in a still fine spot. The Amoonguss super low at this point. Are they going to KO my Chestnut here? If they can, Body Press will come out in Amoonguss. I could have used Terra Steel and knocked out both, but yeah, like, regardless, like, I don't think the Amoonguss is like that big of a game changer to really secure it here. And if they lock in a Shadow Ball, fun fact, the Chestnut is just going to be able to ignore here the Bulletproof, so I automatically win if I just get rid of the Amoonguss. We're going to see the Flutter Mane come back in, and Terra Steel here is very safe, and I can go for a Spiky Shield. Yeah, Spiky Shield here. Go for the Terra, make it rain. Now it doesn't really make much of a difference because, again, we already know that the specs. Shadow Ball crit, sure, into the Golden Go, but I win by getting Galarian Moltres next to Chestnut regardless, because then I could just double up the Amoonguss, or maybe Fire Raft just picks up the knockout on Amoonguss. And the Flutter Mane just can't do enough damage because it's locked in a Shadow Ball. If they go for the Moonblast, the Moonblast crit won't knock out my Golden Go, especially without Terra. So the Flutter Mane would just go down to the Terra, make it rain, and then the Amoonguss can't come back in this. So regardless, we have like so many sealed win cons at this point that there's no avenue, I think, that I could possibly lose this game here. They go for the Shadow Ball. They need to crit. And they don't crit even, so Make It Rain gonna come out. Terra Steel should pick up a knockout into both. Yep, and even if it didn't, let's say Flutter Mane somehow survived. I did have the Chestnut with Bulletproof, which ignores Shadow Ball, so perfect. Chestnut was actually really good. It did miss the knockouts. Seed Bomb into Spirit Break wasn't able to pick up the knockouts, but I was able to catch my opponent's little bit passive plays right there. And the setup again with Chestnut was just like so good. I was able to get the Reflect up. It was really hard for them to break through. And yeah, then was in a really strong spot because they had both Pokemon weakened. The Amoonguss was really passive. And then Flutter Mane was just like always threatened, I think, in the end game, especially locked in the specs. Heatran, Flutter Mane, Amoonguss, Gothitelle, Dondozo, Dragonite. So solo Dondozo. I wonder if it's like Yawn Tramping with the Gothitelle. It's just interesting to see the Gothitelle. Like, the Shadow Tag abusers aren't really there exactly. I do have double Ghost type, so I don't think it's like that effective against my team overall, but definitely unique choices right here. I do like Grimmsnarl screens against the team, but then again, if they do trap me, it's just really annoying because like Grimmsnarl can't do much. So Spirit Break does do quite a bit, I suppose. Let's see. I could go with like Golden Go. Golden Go is just like really good against their team. The Heatran's probably leading though, which is my only concern because like this team doesn't deal well with Heatran other than like the Chestnut if it's Terra, and that's like a pretty big factor. I guess like Grimmsnarl plus the Galarian Moltres though isn't too bad. Like I think it's pretty effective against my opponent's team. I don't really like Flutter Mane too much against it. I do like the Golden Go in the back, and I like the Chestnut a lot. I think I want to Terra the Chestnut specifically because I like the idea of getting the Light Screen or Reflects with the setup on my Moltres, because the thing is the Heatran can't really do that much damage to Moltres with the Light Screen because Galarian Moltres has really good special defense, and I think I want to like weaken the Heatran because I might not even have to Terra in this game, but I think it will probably be like the likely Terra option against my opponent. We're gonna see Gothitelle Heatran, which is completely fine for me. This is actually like a really good position for me because this lead, like they used Heatran to cover for the Golden Go as well as the Flutter Mane, which makes sense because it's the main things that pressure the Gothitelle. And here I can just go for a Light Screen, and I can go for a... Oh, I don't have Nasty Plot actually. For some reason I thought I had Nasty Plot, but this should probably still be alright. I can go for Fire Raft and get some pretty good damage across the board, so not that bad. They go for a Fake Out, which is okay. I'm going to be able to start breaking through this combination and weaken the Heatran, which is pretty important. I also get flinch chances too, which is nice. Like, that's some pretty good damage. That animation's a lot better than I remember. The Flash Cannon going to come out into the Grimmsnarl. Actually picks up a knockout on Grimmsnarl that early? Okay, was not expecting that, but still it's okay. Life Orb Heatran, that explains a bit more. Alright. I'm going to go out into my Chestnut, I think, here. I think Chestnut's just pretty strong overall. I can go for another Fiery Raft. I get some damage into the Heatran. Spiky Shield here I think is pretty safe across the board. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think this is too bad. Let's go for that Fiery Wrath and just get some damage onto both. Like, they don't have a good switch in the Fiery Wrath. They don't have a Dark Resist on their team. Fire Wrath doing about 25% to the Heatran, puts in range of Body Press after one more, so I'll gladly take it because I can go for like Tailwind plus Body Press the Falling turn. And if they're not expecting, it's like really good. They're going to go for the Helping Hand, which okay, makes sense. We are going to be able to go for a Spiky Shield with the Chestnut. I think I should be faster than the Heatran once Tailwind is up. Fire Wrath going to come out into the Heatran and the Gothitelle. Almost picking up the knockout, but not enough. We are going to see the Citrus Berry on the Gothitelle. Okay. I could also just go for Body Press into Fire Wrath by itself. Let's see how much the Heat Wave does though. Because Terra is my plan on the Chestnut. I don't have to risk much. Ooh, a nice dodge on the Moltres. Well, does it really matter? I don't think it does. It could, but I don't think it's like that big of a deal. I think I'm just going to go for that Body Press plan that I had anyway into the Heatran. I'm just going to go for the Tailwind. I'm going to Terra Water the Chestnut just in case because I might as well. There's nothing on my opponent's side that really hits my Chestnut. Like, the only thing I guess is like Spore Immunity, which since I still have my Galarian Moltres, I'm still in an okay position. It looks like they didn't tear the Heatran too, so I'm like completely okay with this spot. So I wonder if this is Helping Hand Heat Wave once again. This is going to be Helping Hand Heat Wave, so I don't think they're expecting the Tailwind on the Galarian Moltres, which I am using to outspeed the Heatran and then fire off this Body Press. I hope the Life Orb hit doesn't actually matter where the Life Orb recoil actually put in Body Press because that's actually pretty significant, but we are able to knock out the Heatran, which is great. So Heatran goes down, nice, and the Gothitelle is in a very vulnerable spot with the Fiery Wrath, so very, very solid position where I can go for a Bulk Up potentially the following turn, or I could go for a Seed Bomb Fiery Wrath into whatever's coming in. The Dragonite's going to come in. So I wonder if this is Terra Flying or not, but I do like the idea of just going for the Bulk Up here very safely. So I will go for the Bulk Up, and let's just go for a Fiery Wrath here because I'm pretty sure the only thing that can knock out my Galarian Moltres in this position is going to be Helping Hand Terra Normal Extreme Speed. So let's go for that Fiery Wrath here and the Bulk Up because if they want to go for the Terra Normal Extreme Speed, like I have a Golden Go and then they're in a really tough time afterward. I also like Bulk Up for the Terra Flying potentially. It is going to be the Terra Normal on the Dragonite, so this might be Helping Hand plus the Extreme Speed, but even then, like I'm in a really good spot with the Chestnut. So let's see. Going to be the Helping Hand coming out from the Gothitelle once again. We're going to see a Extreme Speed does come out. I could have read it, but I just wasn't sure if it's Terra Flying. But then again, I guess I can't. Wow, that's not Choice Band. That did a lot less damage than expected. Okay. That was a heck of a lot less than expected. All right. I guess I couldn't read it anyway because the Gothitelle is locking my Galarian Moltres. At least I think it's locking. We actually haven't confirmed that the Gothitelle was Shadow Tag 100% because we had never tried to switch out, but you want to imagine it was. And yeah, Bulk Up going to come out from the Chestnut, so now we're going to be at +1 defense. It's really hard for my opponent to actually like stop my Chestnut right now. I wonder what the Dragonite is, but it is vulnerable now to whatever I want. The Flutter Mane going to come out. Okay, so that Flutter Mane is going to have a special attack boost, which is fine. He turns a Tailwind. I like the idea of just going for the Seed Bomb into the Flutter Mane and getting as much damage as I possibly can. Or I could Body Press too, I suppose. Actually, I like the Body Press in the Dragonite because that should KO the... I'm pretty sure that KOs the Dragonite here. So I am going to go for the Body Press and I'm going to go for a Fiery Wrath into both. Because they are going to attack. They are going to fire out the Extreme Speed, probably in the Galarian Moltres. Yep, Galarian Moltres is going to go down here. Completely okay. And they're going to get a Shadow. They're probably getting a Moonblast or Dazzling Gleam off. It's going to be Moonblast. The Chestnut should live 1. Yep, pretty easily actually. Special attack drop, not that big of a deal. We are going to be able to get a Body Press off into the Dragonite and finish off the Dragonite. So perfect. And we already saw that the Dragonite was Terra. Now we can go for Golden Go endgame. We can go for Make It Rain into the Flutter Mane. We have one more turn Tailwind, so we know that they aren't Speed Booster Flutter Mane. If it was Speed Booster, it probably made this easier because then, unless it's a critical hit on my Golden Go, like I always look to Shadow Ball and then Make It Rain would finish it off. But since the special attack booster can knock out, but that means I outspeed under Tailwind. that I currently have. So this is the last turn Tailwind. They have to protect this turn. I'm going to go for a bulk up with my my Chestnut, and I'm going to go for Make It Rain here. The reason I'm going to go for this is because if they do go for the Protect, I get another bulk up off, and that should allow Chestnut to KO, I think, the Flutter Mane afterward. And they can only target one of the two, right? So if they want to, they have to Shadow Ball my Golden Go the following turn, which means the Seed Bomb will go into Flutter Mane. If it doesn't KO the Flutter Mane for some reason, then I think we just had enough HP because of these leftovers recovery that we should be able to finish out the Flutter Mane with the Seed Bomb afterwards. So that's basically what I've been playing towards this entire end game after seeing like the Terra normal reactions. But yeah, this is looking pretty perfect here because now we should be able to get a Seed Bomb off into the Flutter Mane very, very safely and go for that Make It Rain, which should allow me to pick up the knockout into the Flutter Mane. Again, if not, we have the backup plan and just gotta hope that they don't crit me at the end. So gonna go down to the Shadow Ball from the special attack boost of Flutter Mane, but Seed Bomb will hopefully revenge KO the Flutter Mane. Ooh, it does live the Flutter Mane does live the Seed Bomb. Okay, comes down to a crit here. I can Spike a Shield to get a bit of leftovers recovery, I suppose. Do I think this is Calm Mind Flutter on this team? I don't think it is. I'm just gonna Spike a Shield, I guess, to get leftovers. They Perish Song, they lose. They don't have a move that actually changes this position, I'm pretty sure, other than Calm Mind. And yeah, it's just like Moonblast, which is what you would expect here. So with this extra leftovers recovery, I'm just like making sure. I'm pretty sure that like a high roll Moonblast wouldn't KO the Chestnut, but you never know, right? What was the lowest of Moonblast? The highest? I mean, why not just go for this play if it's like super safe? Like Calm Mind Flutter is not really existent here. Moonblast is gonna come out into Chestnut, and oh wow, that did, as you saw, a bit more than the second Moonblast. So still might have been the best option to go for the double protect. I think I still actually survived the, I think I did survive it by like 1 HP if I didn't actually go for the Spike Shield, or 2. It was like 1 or 2, I think. But Chestnut coming through, man. Chestnut coming through. As I said before, Terra War Chestnut was really good. Lead wise, the Glaring Moltres was really good. Sure, the Heat Wave miss on the first time kind of stunk for my opponent, but I don't think it really super changed much. The Tailwind Body Press was still pretty much just getting the opponent regardless. Sure, they get a Helping Hand Extreme Speed off. Maybe they kill the Glaring Moltres early, but the Golden Go still comes in to make it rain's really tough for them to actually like play around. So regardless, like I felt like I was like in an okay spot. Cresselia, Ursaluna, the Gyarados, Armarouge, Indeedee, Iron Hands, a Trick Room team. All right. Sidestep's very, very difficult. We do have a few answers though with our, I mean, I guess it's not too bad. We have Double Dark, but the thing is, Dread is Ursaluna, which I am very scared of. I guess we do have Chestnut, which is probably pretty good against it, but still not like super easy, I'd say. I like the idea of Golden Go. I like Golden Go probably plus the Grimmsnarl immediately, because I don't think they're leading into the Armarouge, because if they lead in the Armarouge, they kind of like fold to the Glaring Moltres Fiery Wrath. So I don't think that's going to be their lead. I like the idea of just leading the Golden Go to pressure like anything else next to it. And then I think Chestnut in the back. Flutter Mane would only be nice to really deal with the hands, because I don't really dish out enough immediate damage in Iron Hands. But if I can get rid of the, Armarouge, then it's like really tough, I think, for them to really break through my Chestnut in general. So I should be okay there. It is going to be a complicated game because I don't know if Chestnut will straight up just win. And there's also like Taunt Gyarados with Intimidate that could be a little bit annoying, because I do need at least a bulk up or 2 to probably secure this victory here. So let's find out if that's going to be the case. And we'll find out. It's going to be the lead of Cresselia and Indeedee. Okay, yeah. So I knew they weren't leading the Armarouge, but the thing is, this kind of like fell to the same trap as the, I mean, it fell into the same trap as my what's it called, my Galarian Moltres. So I'm very surprised that they led this, but still it's okay for me. I want to just go for a Make It Rain and dish out a lot of damage, and I think we're gonna go for a Spirit Break into the Cresselia as well. I don't think I knock out the Indeedee here, if I'm not mistaken. If we do, it's like not too bad, but if we don't, that's pretty ideal. We're gonna see the Indeedee actually retreat, which is pretty ideal because Make It Rain's gonna do a lot of damage. Like Ursaluna is not appreciating this hit, so I'll gladly take it right here. So we'll go for a Make It Rain here into the Ursaluna and the Cresselia. Like, look at how much damage we just did to that Ursaluna. Like, yeah, that was a ton of damage. And we get a free Spirit Break off into Cresselia here for a pretty decent chunk. Lower its special attack here, and we're going to see the Trick Room get set up, which perfectly is fine here. Unfortunately, the Ursaluna and the Cresselia is probably going to get a lot of health. That leftovers recovery on the Cresselia is actually a little bit tricky, but yeah, like we can easily take the Headlong Rush, I think, with our Chestnut if we just switch in. I think they can't really afford to not Headlong Rush. Another Make It Rain is just so threatening at this point. Like, I think they're forced to. So we're going to go into Chestnut here, and we're going to get the Reflect up. The only problem is going to be back Armarouge. I got to make sure that I'm pressuring the Armarouge well enough. We're going to bring out our Chestnut and go for the Reflect, then probably set up a Light Screen if we can the following turn. We're going to see Facade. They target down the Grimmsnarl, so they made a good read there. We are able to survive with the Reflect, and the Lunar Blessing is going to come out once again, which is okay here. So I do want the Light Screen up for sure. Ursaluna's not like threatening that much damage to my Chestnut. I guess the problem is they're actually going to get back to full. All the damage I didn't have done was kind of negated for the most part. But I mean, the Ursaluna is still threatened by like body press on the Chestnut. I am going to go for a bulk up here, and I am going to Light Screen. I want to make sure that I'm going to be like decently healthy here. So let's see, a Light Screen going to go up. So we have the screen set up. Let's see if it's Psychic or not coming out from the Cresselia. I mean, they go for Drain Punch, but it doesn't knock out Grim because there's a huge difference between Facade and Drain Punch there. This should be Psychic then, I think, into Chestnut. A Bulk Up going to come out into my Chestnut at the +1 defense and attack, which is going to be like really important for Ursaluna. And Psychic does come out immediately. We do have the Light Screen up, so we should tank this okay. Yeah, like we actually took that a lot better than I expected. Okay, beautiful. And okay, I have a Self Thunderwave play I could do in the Chestnut, but I really don't want to bank off that, so I'd prefer not to unless I absolutely have to. If I get rid of the Ursaluna, I do think they just lose. They just fold to my Galarian Moltres. So I'm just going to body press the Ursaluna here. And if they Terra, that means they can't Terra it back, which I think is like okay. And I feel like they should Headlong Rush, but I don't think I should swap into my backs. I think I just go for a double up in Ursaluna. If they protect, that's okay. They're going to retreat the Crest actually into Armarouge. Okay. Armarouge going to come in, which is okay. They go for Facade into my Chestnut, which does a decent amount, but it's not enough. We get Body Press off into Armarouge, and I mean into Ursaluna. Pick up the knockout, which is beautiful. They lost their really only answer to the Galarian Moltres. That's solid, and I get Spirit Break off into Armarouge as well. So we lower their special attack, which is fantastic. Yeah, it's not Covert Cloak on the Armarouge, and now I get to go out in a Galarian Moltres, I think, for free here, and that's pretty dang good. I would gladly take that. I think I'll say Grimmsnarl just in case, because they can't really threaten the Grimmsnarl. I don't think they're going for the... I don't think you're going for Armor Cannon and a Grimmsnarl if you're targeting here. I'm going to Spiky Shield, stall out this Trick Room, and just go out into my Galarian Moltres, which I think is like really ideal. Get a bit of leftovers recovery on the Chestnut, because I think Chestnut could beat... I mean, Chestnut can definitely beat the Cresselia, depending on the circumstances, I think. But let's find out, because we can definitely go for bulk ups. If we had Nasty Plot, this would be easier. They still have Terra, which is like the one concerning factor. But the thing is, if they Terra, it's like not that bad. We're going to bring out our Galarian Moltres. Spiky Shield to cover. This covers everything except Armor Cannon, but I don't think you're going to go for that. Oh, double Trick Room. Okay. Like, double Trick Room is fine because the Trick Room doesn't really matter to me. It just means I can't flinch, I guess, to Indeedee and Armarouge. But yeah, like, getting this is pretty safe here. And do I want to go into Grim now, I guess is the question. Are you going to Armor Cannon, or are you going to go for Expanding Force here? Because if you go for Armor Cannon, I don't think you're going to Armor Cannon my Chestnut slot. That's the thing. Also, Psychic Terrain Disappear, which is bad for you. I like Grim is pretty safe here. Or I could Terra the... I could just Terra this, I suppose. I don't Terra this. I don't Terra the Galarian Moltres. I don't Terra the Grimmsnarl, and Golden Gold doesn't Terra. I guess like there's really no reason not to Terra at this point. We're going to go for a Body Press, I suppose, in the Armarouge, and just go for the Fiery Wrath, because if they Terra the Armarouge, like I get to go for a Body Press plus Fiery Wrath combo. which if they Terra, then they're getting hit by the body press for neutral, and it's a +1 body press, so I think I should knock out. They're also like -1 special attack. There's no psychic terrain. I don't think they can knock out my Chestnut unless they went for energy ball. Energy ball is not blocked by, I don't think it's blocked by bulletproof, but I might be wrong on that. Like, it's been a while since I've seen bulletproof in action. Terra water on the armor, which is interesting. Okay, it's like a seed bomb, but it doesn't change much here. So let's see, is it follow me or not? It is follow me. Okay, which is absolutely fine because they don't get to reset the psychic terrain. We are going to see the body press come out into the entity. That does a really solid chunk of damage, and armor cannon is going to be fired off into my Galarian Moltres, and -1 special attack plus the light screen. That actually still did a lot. Is that life orb? Yeah, it had to be a life orb. It was doing way too much damage, and I get the fiery wrath off into the Armarouge. The entity barely survives, but like at this point, like I just can't really see them being able to pull through nearly as well. Like, I have so much going for me right now. They're super weakened at this point. I'm gonna go for the seed bomb, I guess, into the armored slot, and I'm gonna go for a fire wrath here. Should cover a lot here. The battle's gonna be forfeit because they realize they cannot break through the Galarian Moltres plus the Chestnut, and that will be able to seal us the victory right there. And yeah, we were able to, like, again, Ursaluna was really the only threat it looked like they had for the Galarian Moltres, and the thing is, they couldn't even break through my lead really that well, I think, without the Ursaluna, because it was just so hard. I had double dark, I had a golden go. It was just like really tough. They were able to build up, I guess, a few turns, like healing with the Lunar Blessing, which made my Make It Rain like a lot less potent, but overall, like, I was able to set up my Chestnut in front of them and then killed Ursaluna, and then it's like, okay, they didn't have anything left. All right, let's go over to games. Game 1, Chestnut under Reflect was really hard for my opponent to break through, while I was able to get great chip damage onto their lead, and their Flutter Mane didn't have enough firepower for the end game. Game 2, Galarian Moltres was able to chip my opponent's lead and get a Tailwind speed advantage, allowing for Golden Go to pressure, while Chestnut was able to set up bulk ups to deal with their Flutter Mane while they were stalling Tailwind turns. Game 3 was able to have a strong start with Golden Go and deal with their Ursaluna early thanks to the Chestnut, which meant my opponent couldn't do much damage to my Galarian Moltres with the 3 Psychic types they had remaining. Chestnut was really fun. It is a really defensive Pokemon. It does take a little bit to get going, but overall it was able to do a solid amount of work under the screens with the support of the Galarian Moltres and the Golden Go that we saw. If you do want to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description. You can try out the code on your screen as always, and subscribe to the channel for more VGC content.